Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium and the 2021 Graduate School Commencement of the University of Wisconsin in Madison. After one of the strangest years that any of us has experienced, we are here together and in person to celebrate, and it feels great. Thank you, Carl Schultz, for for introducing everyone and for getting us started off. And I want to thank John Gottman, who you will meet in a moment on video, who receives an honorary degree today. Dr. Gottman could not be here in person, but you'll hear from him, and I think you'll be inspired, as I have been, by his unique ability to see a problem in a way that nobody has ever considered before. He's world-renowned for his research on marriage. The mathematicians in the crowd will appreciate the fact that he's particularly well known as one of the first people to utilize differential equations to model and describe interactions between couples. I also want to take a moment to recognize the departure of Barry Alvarez, our athletic director, who's retiring after 31 years here at UW. Under his leadership, our Badger teams have won multiple championships. Our student athletes have been recognized for top academic achievement, and our football program was singled out as one of the most admired in the country, not just because we win on the field, but because of our students' academic success and community engagement. So thank you, Barry, for giving us so many reasons to cheer here in Camp Randall and elsewhere over the last 3 decades. To the graduates who are here in person and the members of this class joining us via live stream. Today, we mark the years of sustained effort that you have all invested to work in the highest levels of your field and the sacrifices you have made along the way. Just months ago, few of us imagined we'd actually be able to be together today. You have made this moment possible with your careful attention to health protocols that have kept yourself and others healthy. I know it hasn't been an easy year, but you've handled it with grace and even a sense of humor. One of our students recently observed that he can no longer walk past Union South, where he went twice a week to test, without beginning to drool. I want to say a special word to the estimated 40,000 parents, spouses, partners, children, siblings, and friends who are with us today on live stream. This is your celebration too, and I want to thank you for the years of support and sacrifice that brought your graduate to this day. To those graduates who have lost friends, colleagues, and family members to the pandemic or for other causes, we remember them as well. Let's all give a hand to those who've supported us over these years. This has been an extraordinary year. We've seen a convergence of crises, not just the pandemic, economic uncertainty, political polarization, and a new level of urgency to take meaningful action against racism and injustice, to put an end to violence against brown and black people, people of Asian descent, and all others who've been the target of hate crimes in this country. These things have affected all of you. But some of you have faced particular challenges, and you deserve special recognition today. So please stand as you are able and remain standing. Let me read through a few categories. If you have taught undergraduate classes in person this year, stand. If you had to figure out how to teach remotely this year, please stand. If you do clinical work or research related to COVID-19, or have helped us in our testing or vaccination clinics, please stand. If you're a first responder or a frontline worker, please stand. And if you had a child learning at home rather than in school or in preschool, please stand. For all that you have accomplished under especially stressful circumstances, please give yourselves and one another a round of applause. You can be seated. I know that many of you have also faced financial hardship, and all of you have experienced a diminution of the two things that are at the heart of who we are and what we do here at UW-Madison. First, interdisciplinary collaboration with partners across campus and around the world. And second, public outreach to share knowledge beyond the borders of the campus, what we call the Wisconsin idea. These are things that depend on connections between people, and this university has always been a place that fosters those connections. They're built on thousands of small moments, a conversation in the hallway that gives you something new to think about, Friday afternoons with your lab partners on the terrace, or just coffee with a friend. COVID has taken a lot away from many of us, but it has also taught us something very valuable that it's easy to lose sight of in graduate school: how to think like a beginner. The great cellist Yo-Yo Ma credits his remarkable ability to connect with audiences to his beginner's mind, which he describes as being receptive to what's around you and being present without judgment. When we lost the ability to see each other face to face, to take note of all those nonverbal cues that say, "I understand you," or "I'm confused," we all had to start over learning how to communicate in different ways, to listen better, to pace ourselves differently, or to ask more questions. Those of you who teach have experienced this daily, as of those of you whose research depends on building and maintaining relationships with communities across Wisconsin and around the world. Sarah Alexander is a great example. Sarah graduates today with a PhD in civil and environmental engineering, and I know Sarah is out there somewhere. They'll find her with the camera. Sarah worked with partners in Ethiopia to develop novel approaches for predicting seasonal rainfall and communicating with farmers and communities about uncertain climate conditions to help them build more resilient systems. Her work is also going to be important here in Wisconsin, but all of this will only be helpful if we can communicate that information effectively. Without the ability to travel to Ethiopia for in-person presentations, Sarah and her partners worked with the people in the community who brought farmers together outdoors, held up the cell phone, and then held a megaphone up to the cell phone. It wasn't exactly ideal, but with this setup, the research team was able to share critically important information. No matter your field, COVID has forced you to do some things you probably haven't done before, using new technologies and reaching out to people in different ways. And I suspect this has sharpened your communication skills. And you will need those skills as you go out into a world that does not always believe in science, but that urgently needs the solutions that only science can provide. COVID has taught us to view other facets of our lives through a beginner's lens as well. And it turns out that examining everything you do and figuring out a different way to do it teaches you a few things that are really worth knowing, like what is essential and what isn't, how to be flexible with yourself and others, and what energizes you or makes you feel depleted. So many of you have stories about things you've decided to stop doing or things that you've discovered and started doing this past year. Some of you are playing more guitar or learning a new instrument. Some of you are learning to meditate or take online yoga. And some of you are just carving out time for long walks. These activities aren't simply pleasant distractions. They are essential to your well-being and help re-energize you for your work. When Albert Einstein came upon a problem that stumped him, he'd step away and play his violin. Isaac Newton and Carl Sagan would pick up their pens and write. And Beatrice Potter created Peter Rabbit as an outlet for the frustration she encountered as a woman in science. I hope you will continue to try activities that give you a chance to be a beginner again. And I hope you'll stay connected with your fellow graduate students who will be your colleagues for life. They will always laugh and cry with you, be there to celebrate victories, large and small, no matter how many years go by. After today, with your graduate degree, you will be part of that very powerful community of some of the most highly educated people in the world. That gives you a responsibility to use your education wisely, to make the world around you a better place. And you are also part of that Badger family of alumni more than 450,000 strong. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for all that you have done during your time here. And best wishes as you set off on the next stage of your journey. Wherever you go, be sure to come back and visit us ever so often here in Madison and tell us how we're doing. Congratulations, and on Wisconsin.